question 13, another look. So as I promised, this is another way to do question number 13. Another look, another way to do it. Okay, which of the following equations they have x equal to 5 and x equal to negative 5 as solutions? And we'll have to make sure that they both work. 5 and negative 5, they both work. So the strategy for this one, for this way to do it is, I'm going to construct an equation. Okay. Earlier, I just showed you guys to do the check. And I still have it right here. I just show you guys to do the check. Whenever you have an equation, especially when you have a multiple choice, and when they give you like the answers and equations, you can just plug in numbers and make sure that they work out well or not. And we found that D is the answer, right? But it took us a while. Then I'll show you guys another way to do this. I'm going to construct an equation that these two are both the solutions. So take a look of x is equal to 5. Okay, and this may be a little bit unusual, but this is how we will do it. So take a look of x is equal to 5. Why am I going to do this? I want to subtract 5 on both sides. Okay, so it's kind of like I'm going kind of like backwards when we are solving equations. Okay, because you already have the x isolated already, right? But the idea is that if you want to construct an equation, you don't want to isolate the x anymore. You want to kind of just have friends. Make sure x has friends. So I'll subtract 5 on both sides. So that's how I think about it. So I have x minus 5. We cannot do anything with this, so I'll just write it down as x minus 5. 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. And there's a reason why we choose to minus. That's why that we want to have 0 right here. But I will talk about that in a minute. Okay, and then another equation, or another solution that we want to make sure is x is equal to negative 5. So I have negative 5 on the right hand side. Again, I want to have some friends for x. Right now x is by itself. What I'm going to do is, I want to add the 5 on both sides. So these two cancels out to be 0. I still have the equal sign. X plus 5, we cannot do anything with it. So it's just x plus 5. So what we are saying is, x minus 5 is equal to 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. Right? These are both the situations that we need to happen. So this is how we're going to do it. This is solving quadratic equation. I'm going to construct a quadratic equation, but yeah, we'll talk about more about that later on. So to construct an equation so that these two are both the answer, this is how we do it. What we can do is, we can kind of multiply these two together. We can just put them together, multiply them. So write this down. Yes. If I have x minus 5, bring down the x minus 5 right here, and also bring down the x plus 5 right here. And 0 times 0 is equal to 0. Right? When I put these two together, I multiply them. Right? This symbolically means that we are multiplying these two together. So I'm multiplying the 0 and the 0, which I get 0. So as you can see that instead of isolating the x, I'm trying to make sure that x have like a big party. I want to just put things together for the x. Okay. So we have x minus 5 times x plus 5 equals to 0. And if you have seen this before, then you will know that once you have this, if you want to solve this equation, if this is the equation that you're working on, you just need to set this is equal to 0, and that's equal to 0, and then you can just go backward to solve it. But I want to construct an equation, so that's why I'm doing this. The next step that we'll do is, I will take the x, multiply with the x. I'm pretty much just distributing. So x times x, I have x squared. and take the x, multiply with the 5, have positive 5x. I'm done with the x, move to a negative 5, multiply by the x. So I have minus 5x. Negative 5 times positive 5, I have negative 25. And that should equal to 0. Once we take a look at this, we see that positive 5x and negative 5x, they cancel to be 0. So, I have x squared minus 25. It's equal to 0. And you see, we're working this way, and then we can construct an equation. X squared minus 25 equals to 0. And actually, that's just the equation that I have as well. X squared minus 25 is equal to 0. That's exactly what I did. So answer choice D. Answer choice D.